Everything okay?
Yeah, it was
That whole, yeah, dude. And that,
What?
I thought she was crying, but the video was just going bad. The video was a slow video.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it looked like she was crying, but she wasn't. Everything's great. Still, thank God.
he said
Yeah.
extra.
Extra loving.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. G, Julian, Vanessa,
Charlie.
Laura, Kelly, Cleveland. I don't think
Shout
I've
out
ever
to
heard that name
Charlie.
before.
It's his birthday.
Happy
Birthday to you. My fellow Virgo.
We aren't going to finish.
I knew I liked
Rutherford County's in the house.
Rutherford.
Yo, guys.
Let's
Diana.
go.
I know that one, Diana.
Hey,
Diana.
Right.
Yes, girl.
Martin, Chad, and Amy.
Chad and Amy.
Chuck.
Zamzao.
Chuck's traveling today. He's in the land of Neverland.
Casey.
Yeah.
Laura. Katie. Jennifer. Savannah.
Wow.
Julian. Vanessa.
I see Zoe and Michael.
Brooke.
And do you guys, anybody watch Romper Room when they were young? Or am I just that old?
Joe Pip.
I guess I'm not old.
Tyler.
And Shane's from Canada, so he wouldn't
Tyler.
know the Romper Room.
Victoria Q.
Lena knows the Romper Room. I see it in the chat.
Tyler
Coach
Page,
Kristen.
Coach Kristen, Laura, Casey, Ferris. Ferris Bueller is in the house tonight.
Penny.
Penny Swanberg. Is that my mom trying to come in all incognito?
Is it?
My mom. She's like, Swanberg. She's going
Rachel
to go
Vaughn, Vanessa.
I see Victoria Q.
Nina. Kelly Cleveland, I think, is new. Yeah, she's nodding her head.
Where is she?
Good. Welcome, Kelly. Right in the middle there. Black
Oh, I
hat.
see her, yeah.
Black waving. Hi there.
I see
Ooh.
Rachel Vaughn, Matt M.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, we got 33 people so far.
That's beautiful. Wow, I love it, man. Look at this.
Where's our timer? Is he in the house?
Joel. I don't see Joel yet.
Hey, Chuck, get something big in the works. We'll be surprised in the coming weeks. Hello, all.
We
Get-
love you, Diana.
Get something. Wow, Chuck. Good. We're looking forward to that.
Yes, I can't wait to hear the surprise Chuck.
Is it get out of the truck?
Ooh.
Remember that?
Yeah, get.
Huh?
Giddy up.
Get out the truck?
Get. So excited to be here tonight. Hi, Diane. Yeah, we're excited to have you. Hi, Nikki.
Oh, I like that. I like that post. The guy's a picture with his background with the AA jacket. Is it like an AA jacket?
Oh, yeah. Like a Letterman jacket.
California, like a biker jacket.
Oh, yeah. Right there. Go over the names. The gist.
Did he say it right? I don't even want to try it. Is the J silent or no? Do we say Najist? He's saying something. Read his lips, Shane.
I can't read his lips.
Najist 18. Oh,
Yeah.
that guy. That lady. Hello. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. AA. Hey, buddy.
All right. Well, let's get this party started, man. Because we.
Sorry, I don't see Joel, so I'm gonna put his stopwatch up on there. So
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, just wanted to get this party started. Thank everybody for coming and joining the Recover Out
Yeah.
Loud meeting.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like, dude,
I know.
it's hard when you haven't been here for a week,
I know,
in
yeah,
this meeting. We
yeah.
were last week we did it from home. I'm gonna confess to you guys right now, I didn't pay enough attention. I was watching the stupid debate, and I have to tell you guys, it was the worst debate I've ever seen in my life. I did not enjoy it
Well, I paid
at
attention.
all. I would have rather have been here
Yeah.
because this is what I do on Tuesday nights. Every Tuesday night, we are here at 6 p.m. getting our recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to thank you guys for all showing up.
Yes.
Just a quick reminder of why the Hopeaholics podcast exists, because I will never forget on 9/11 of 2022, which just passed 2 years, I lost my son-in-law, Justin, to the fentanyl crisis, which is the reason why I joined the Recover Out Loud movement. And shortly after that, Shane and I started the podcast, and we had Natalie on as a guest, and the rest
never-
is history. It's
I've
been
never
over a year that we've been together as a family doing this deal.
Almost.
Yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys. We've been doing this meeting for over a year as
Yeah.
well.
It's nice.
You guys have anything you want to say before we get started?
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, I just one last thing. I always like to remind everything that Recover Out Loud is a movement, not a program. So continue doing what you do on a daily basis to stay sober, whether that's the 12 steps, smart recovery, whatever it is. Make sure you continue doing that, because this is just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
This is
Cherry
the
on
extra.
top.
Yep.
Yes.
So tonight, Shane, I'm gonna go ahead.
No,
and let
no,
you-
no, no. I don't think so, bro. No, honestly, I think
His
you
name's
should.
Matt.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not that dumb, dude. but you guys been talking, so why don't you go ahead, Shane?
Yeah,
Introduce
welcome.
our
Yeah,
guest.
welcome, Matt. Go ahead.
Thank you
brother.
for having
Yeah,
me.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I get started now.
That was,
Yeah.
You're on, baby. That was my introduction. You're on,
Man,
baby.
You were a better hype man.
I
just a
know,
minute
this
ago.
is-
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
And
I
then
got
he,
like
he
years
cracks
ago.
under
Here
pressure.
now.
I know. That's what happens with Shane.
yeah.
Yeah, so my name's Matt. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict. I do just about anything that'll change the way that I think. So yeah, I want to start out with maybe a little story to keep it lighthearted, right? So there are these three guys that they died and they go to hell, and the devil makes a deal with them. He says, if you can survive in a room with your vices for 500 years, you get out of get out of jail free card, get out of hell free card. And so he looked at the first guy and said, what's your vice? Well, this dude was an alcoholic, like real deal alcoholic, right? So he takes him to a room, opens up the door, and there's pool tables and all the alcohol that you could ever think of to drink, and it's an alcoholic's paradise. So he lets him in, shuts the door behind him. The next guy is a sex addict. And so open up the door, and I'm talking about any body type that you could think of. You got big ones, little ones, tall ones, skinny ones, fat ones, all of it, right? And dude takes off in there, shuts the door behind him. Next guy was a stoner. And so he opens up the door, and there's all the different types, sativa, everything that you could think of, any smoking apparatus, bongs, papers, everything there, right? Dude takes off in there. So 500 years passes, and the devil goes to the alcoholic store and opens it up, and it stinks. There's puke. The pool table has been broken. People laying around, bottles busted. And the dude comes running. And he says, man, I can't take it. You got to let me out of here. So he stays in hell. You go to the next room, and he opens the door, and all these bodies that were in there, they've just been procreating, and there is nothing but naked bodies just pouring out. And the dude comes crawling under a mound of bodies and said, I can't take it. You got to let me out of here. I can't do it anymore. So he stays in hell. The next guy is a stoner. He goes and opens the door, and it's pristine in there. Like there's joints rolled to the high and blunts over here, and nothing's been touched, it looks like. So the devil walks for a little bit, and he sees a guy sitting in a puddle of his tears. And he walks up to him, and he's like, man, what happened?
yeah.
How did you
I
make it this long? He went, dude, do you have a lighter? That kind of sums up my alcoholism. I don't know what's best for me, and I didn't know what was best until I came into the room. So before I jump into what the solution is, let me go back to my qualifier. The first time I ever drank, I was 17 years old, and I drank 151. I found some in the closet. You know, that's the first drink to have, 151.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
call my older stepbrother, and I'm like, hey, how do I make a shot, man? And he said, so get you a glass, put 2 fingers on the table, and fill it to the top of the 2 fingers. This is how I realize I'm an alcoholic. I put 2 fingers on the table, and I filled it to
That
the
a
top
boy.
of it. Man, that was about half a glass of 151. In my mind, I think it's going to taste something like apple juice, maybe sweet tea, which is not what it tasted like at all. I dry heaved over the sink for about a minute and a half, and then I got the best feeling ever. I was on top of the world. I could talk to anybody. I didn't have a care in the world. You know, I could finally be myself. So that was the first experiment, I guess you could say, I had with drugs or alcohol. As time progresses, I go into the military. I had some issues with Loratabs. I get in the military. ultimately I do about 4 years in the Army and I get kicked out because they don't like you doing drugs in the military. Alcohol was fine, but I even got in trouble with that. So I get out of the military and I head back home. I'm from a little town in Florida. I know, reserve your judgment, please. So I get back home and I start doing blow and drinking Four Locos. I run into what would later become my son's mom, and she doesn't really get down with alcohol, came from a nasty family of alcoholics. And I remember one day, I think we had just found out that she was pregnant with our son, and she was ugly crying in the driveway, begging me to just cut back on my drinking. And I looked her dead in the eye. Wasn't very creative, but I said, beer was here before you and it would be here after you. Just a shitty thing to say to your soon-to-be son's mom, you know? But that just speaks to the level of selfishness that I was living in. It was all about me and how I felt. She didn't put up with my shit, and thank God for her. She finally told me, enough is enough, kick rocks. And this is where I learned how to wallow in self-pity. And I remember sitting at the house thinking, if I'm just going to sit here by myself with no family, no nothing, I'm going to enjoy it. So I did what any sane person would do, and I started smoking meth. And, you know, I only smoked meth one time. It lasted about 3 years, though. I ran my life into the ground. I had this best friend whenever I didn't have the best childhood growing up. I think a lot of alcoholics, we use that as a reason to be able to continue our using, you know? But I had a best friend whenever I was growing up. Her name was Monica. I loved this woman. Loved her. My best friend. Followed her around everywhere like a puppy dog, you know? And we made a pact when we were like 14 years old that if we were both single at 30, let's shotgun it, get married, you know, do the whole Elvis and everything. And she told me that I was stupid, but she agreed. So fast forward the tape a little bit. 2 months from her 31st birthday, we get together, start dating, and get a house. Completely unplanned, but it worked out. She was fine with me being a tweaker, which I didn't really put the pieces together for a week or two, but she was a junkie, and that's why she was fine with me being a tweaker. Junkies and tweakers don't really go well together, kind of like oil and water, you know? We fought, very tumultuous relationship. I loved her, though. She was my best friend. And I looked at her one day and I said, why are we fighting? I've known you for 20 years. Why do we keep fighting? And she looked back at me and said, drugs. And so she went to get off of heroin. She was going to kick cold turkey. I was supposed to quit with her, but I knew that if I drug out my last bag for long enough, eventually she'd pick up again and I wouldn't have to quit. And my plan worked flawlessly. Again, we go back to that selfishness. And plan executed flawlessly. She picked back up. I didn't have to quit. Eventually, I move out and I move back in with my grandma because it's just gotten too toxic and we're going to quit again together. So I am 2 days off of meth. She was supposed to get sober that morning. She went out to score one more time and got some fentanyl pressed blues and nodded out at the wheel and went underneath a garbage truck at about 60 miles an hour. So that fucked me up. From there, I didn't give a shit anymore. Like, anything was game. And I hit psychosis like a brick wall. I started being the muscle for the dope man, and I didn't give any shits anymore. There was none left to give. And when you're doing meth, you don't really sleep, but there's moments that you're in like a lucid-like state, you know? And I had one of these lucid-like states where Monica came to me and she said, why are you feeling bad for yourself? You're not dead, dude. Like, you still have a life to live. I know the first part of your life wasn't great. The second part's going to get better. You have a guardian angel now. Was this real or not? I couldn't tell you, but it had a profound effect on me. Within 2 months, I went to rehab the first time. I would love to tell you I figured it out there. I did 30 days. I left treatment, and I successfully sponsored myself. I got through all 12 steps in a
Nice.
few days. I think that I skipped 5, 6, and 7 because those weren't really that important. 4 was a gimme. I had that one figured out. And I stayed sober for 3 days after that. So left to my own willpower, I can get 3 days sober. Life didn't get terrible, but it wasn't as good as I knew it could be. So after a few months, I'm drinking again. I'm doing heroin, meth like a gentleman, and I know something has to change because I'm laid on my bed, and I can't get the thought of starting a shotgun out of my head. And so I had a buddy that I met in treatment out there. He came out to California and he told me, dude, it's nice out here. There's a good recovery community. You should give it a shot if you're struggling. So I did. The next day I was on a plane and I came out here. I'd like to say that I stayed sober from there, but Adderall maintenance program didn't serve me well. I got about 8.5 months while just doing Adderall, and some amazing things started happening for me in those few months, honestly. I came out here, I got a sponsor, I started working the steps, and I got a job offered to me working in treatment. I was going back home. Like, I'm not from out here. I wasn't planning to stay out here. Offered me a job. It sounded like maybe it could be beneficial. Put the 16 years of terrible mistakes to good use. And so I took that job, which led to another one, which led to a house manager position out here. One of the coolest God shots that I had, and I'll share it quickly, was somebody told me I needed some wheels to be able to get back and forth to work. And somebody told me about a car. I have 6 months sober. Told me about a car that had been sitting out on the side of the curb on their street. 2014 Ford Focus. This was their neighbor's number. Maybe they'd sell it. Maybe they wouldn't. So I call him up. Christmas Eve, I go and check this car out, and he wants $900 for it. It's got a shoddy transmission to it. Doesn't really want to go into second or third, but a voice in the back of my head said, "Buy the fucking car." So I got the car. Took it to the Ford dealership. That year, make, model Ford had a lawsuit put against them for the transmission being shoddy. I got a brand new transmission rebuilt and put in the car. 86,000 miles. Like, how does that happen? That turned into the Corolla. Whenever I know my big ass drives a Corolla. Whenever I traded in that Focus for the Corolla, that was where I took my will back. And it wasn't blessings from God or gifts of the program. It was me. I had put in all this work. Now look what I could do. And it didn't go well. 4 months later, I'm tweaking in a hotel, doing weird shit. You know that you are not a good drug addict whenever the people you're using drugs take them away from you and say, "You're weird, bro. Chill out." So, and that's what happened with me. 6 days, I went from having it all to having to go back to treatment. I was going to lie to my clients and tell them that I just had COVID, and I was going to try and play it all off. And I thank God that I didn't, because whenever I walked in there and I saw them all and they jumped on me and so happy I was back, I felt about this fucking big. Like, I was going to lie to them. That's terrible. But God works in mysterious ways. I have a sponsee here with me today who has 31 days sober. I wouldn't have met this gentleman had I have not relapsed that time. So even from the bad things in my life, God turns it around and turns it into something miraculous, I can't tell you that I have a perfect life today, but I do have a damn good life. I have a beautiful girlfriend, been together for 9 months, haven't fought a single time. Before, I wouldn't make it 9 days without having some sort of toxic fight, Sorry to all those ladies out there. I have a purpose today. I think that's what this program has given me more than anything else, is I have a purpose. I am a person that people can rely on, that they can call when they're having a great day or they're having a bad day, just like y'all said at the beginning of the podcast or the meeting, Come as you are, whether it's a great day, a bad day, share your blessings, share your struggles, and this is a tribe here. So through it, we're able to help each other achieve greatness, you know? If you're struggling out there today, you don't know what to do. None of us did whenever we first started this out. You know, you're in good company. I'm happy to provide my number if anybody's looking for a sponsor or just somebody they can cut it up with, because I get it. And I didn't make it as long as y'all wanted.
Oh, that's okay.
Got a few minutes.
You made it longer
Yeah.
than our timer, because there's also a timer over there that says 8 minutes left.
Okay, I like that one better.
Yeah. Great
Great lead.
great lead, man. Really good.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me here. It feels great to be able to share my story with others, you know. Hopefully there's some relatability.
Oh, for sure.
I saw relatability in the comments up there, so, especially right off the bat. Somebody was like, said something about the military.
I say, who?
So yeah, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your experience, strength, and hope with everybody.
That's why I
Not
love,
easy. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, go.
I was just going to say that's why I love this program so much, because everybody that, tunes in every single week, us sitting here in this room, like, we're all from different areas, born different, raised differently, but we all relate the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same insanity of the way that we think. And the beautiful thing is that we're the lucky ones, that everyone that is here tonight, because we have a solution
Yep.
to our problem.
Yep.
Not many people can say that. So I look at it as a gift,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Really quick, I wanted to send out a not a reminder, but just a memo that in 2 days it's Natalie Eva Marie's birthday. So make
Belly button
sure
birthday. So
belly button birthday. It's an important day, because without a belly button birthday, you don't have a sober birthday.
that is true. And they're actually equally 6 months apart. So technically I get 2 birthdays separated throughout the year. So that's
Very
kind of cool.
nice.
So
too.
make sure you all drop her a little happy birthday on the gram
Thank you, Chad.
on Thursday.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
We got hands up.
We got-
Hands up,
Hands up.
baby. Hands up.
We got 3 hands up. We
Yeah.
got Joe.
Joe's
Joe's
got a good profile.
yeah. Let's see them guns, Joe.
Yeah, he's lost some weight. You see the before and after pictures? He's looking really good.
No, I didn't.
Oh, really? Yeah, you should see. He's lost 30, 40 pounds already.
What?
Yeah, bro. I'm following Joe.
47.
47.
I follow Joe too.
47 pounds.
He's not popping up in my. He's not in my algorithm right now though.
I search him.
Shane searches you every day.
I search him.
My boys.
I search him late at night. Late at night when I'm in bed, I search for Joe.
God.
Joe, where are you? Joe, where are you?
I'm good, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Joe. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Joe, I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict.
Yeah.
Joe.
Thanks for taking the meeting, bro. You said a couple of things, but Natalie just said the same thing. The word solution, right? The solution was always drinking and drugging. At least we thought that was the solution. But, it never is. The problem was always me, regardless. And I'm still the problem. And I remember last week I was venting, and I never really vent or complain in these meetings. I'm always happy. Still haven't had a bad day in the 18 months I'm sober. But last week I was doubting myself, man. I was really feeling vulnerable and unsure. And, what my purpose was. And a couple people in here, in the chat, left me a prayer. A prayer about God help guide my career and line everything up. And I started using that every day, and that was really, really helpful.
Nice.
And that's what's awesome about, this fellowship. And this, I'll always be me, and I'll always take me everywhere I go. But the fact that I have tools now at my disposal, and I have a sponsor and strangers that I can speak to that openly, voluntarily try to help me, as opposed to people I know 30 years that don't really give a shit. It's the secret, man. It's a life hack. I've been saying this forever, man. I'm always the problem. This is the solution, and the reward is still undetermined. But what I'm feeling now is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really glad I still come here every week, especially this meeting. I love this meeting because none of you are like me, yet all of you are like me, if that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
you
True.
know?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty about this, because no matter what I speak about, you could all relate and understand and not judge. And, you know, it makes me finally feel like I belong somewhere.
Nice.
And I've always felt like an outsider. So that's all I had to say. I got to do my inventory in a couple of minutes, but another great meeting as usual.
Thanks, bro.
And thanks for taking the meeting, bro.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
man.
rest of your night.
Good
Loved
shit.
it.
Good shit, Joe.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Always dropping some nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. We got the Rutherford County Correctional Facility
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do.
Hands raised.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey y'all, Antonio. I'm an addict.
Antonio.
I participate in CR, which is religious based, but and being incarcerated hasn't stopped me from furthering my recovery. You know, I'm always on the phone with my sponsor, or you know, trying to do. I didn't know about y'all either, so I mean, I'm just doing as much as I can to keep furthering my like. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Even though I'm incarcerated, I still look at it as a blessing because God has given me my year of sobriety so far.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's all.
You know what? I kind of I like what he's saying
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because I want to tell you what I was the other day when someone called me and said why. I said I don't know, but there's always a reason,
Yeah.
and that's what I think I got from Antonio. Was there's a reason why he's there, and he's making it a reason, and that reason's a good reason, and he's going to stay sober through that
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
and come out better, man.
You talk about celebrate recovery, man. Think about Paul and Saul. Like that's what you have right now is an opportunity to be joyous.
Mm-hmm.
And positivity is just as infectious as negativity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For
But
sure.
it's more powerful.
yeah,
So spread that joy, man.
and laughter. Making people laugh is important too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And that's why we have you here, Shane.
Thanks, buddy.
You make us laugh every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also make us worry.
Hey, Coach Tristan.
What's poppin'? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, what's popping?
Hoppin', brand new whip just hopped in. No, I'm just kidding. No, I 382 days sober today. Hella stoked.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
And I just want to say thanks. I was the military person that said that, but go Air Force, not. I'm guessing
Whoa.
you were.
I say whoa.
Well, I say I don't know what the Air Force says anymore. I don't. Chair Force, I guess. I don't know. But I'm gonna say like I resonate with that a lot. Just because I try to get sober the first time in the military. I'm still in, and I was like, it's not my fault. I'm never wrong. You know, like it's the military's fault, right? It's their fault. It's not mine. And I tried it myself, and I was like, I'm fine. And I was like, I did the 12 steps by myself as well. Cause I was like, I don't what is that? No, I am a strong, independent person. I don't need that. Well, I was corrected. I was very much corrected, but you know, you got to learn the hard way sometimes. And then, I fell off the wagon for a long, long, long time, but then I am now at 382 days.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So
Right.
super stoked about that. And because I want to do it this time and I'm not doing it alone,
Mhm.
which is huge. And like, I just appreciate like everything that you shared too. Cause, and then when y'all were just talking about like a reason why you're here, like there's a reason why we're all at this place in our life right now. And like, we'll never get this moment back. So always live for the moment, not just like for the future, but in this moment. And there's a reason why I decided to put on my alarm that I forgot and get on this meeting in between studying about all of the muscles in the spinal column that I have a test for tomorrow. You know, like, but yeah, I just appreciate the share, and I'm gonna stop talking now and let other people talk. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. I do want to say that I was at Baylor University this weekend, and we played. See, I can say we now because my son goes to Baylor University, and I was there for family week.
Go Bulldogs.
And we played. They're the Bears.
Bears. Go Bears.
Oh
And-
my gosh.
We spanked the Air Force.
That's right.
Sorry, Kristen.
No, that's fine. I'm sure Air Force likes to get spanked.
You're a mess.
That's funny.
Do you all see
stuff.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with
That's
about
funny, funny
the
stuff.
worry part, like.
Funny,
You know,
funny
I
stuff.
constantly have to remind everybody that Shane is from Canada,
I'm a Canuck.
and
I'm a Canuck.
whatever comes in his mind comes out of his mouth. I don't know why they don't have filters up there.
Yeah.
Do we have any other Canadians on the
I don't know, but you know what?
meeting tonight?
I want to point out Chrissy from Long Island because she stated she has a year of sobriety and she's having a rough night.
Oh,
I saw that too.
Oh, she's then in the perfect spot.
It's her
Yep.
first meeting. She just came in and it's her first meeting
should
with
share.
us. And she's up there. What is
Chrissy, you should share.
That's
Yeah,
right.
maybe let's
Yeah,
share.
Chrissy,
And
after-
I'll tell you something. If she's not feeling better, guess who's buying her dinner?
Shane will buy
I'm buying
you
her dinner. If she doesn't feel
dinner.
after she shares, I buy dinner.
Yep.
So, Chris, if you want to share and a chance at dinner,
Then
raise your
she's
hand.
Canadian.
Who's Canadian?
Alicia.
Oh, yeah, there
Alicia.
you go, Alicia. There you go. There you go. All right, let's go, Martin.
Martin
Westerlund. Martin Westerlund.
Westerlund. It's a very strong last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm here for the first time too.
Mm.
And, my side of addiction is totally opposite because I'm dealing with anxiety, mental health, and childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those three things, I feel like I've been dealing with it since January, and I feel like, everything's just come crushing down. It's like, how am I going to get through this? With all three of those things just piled on at once. And for me, it's like trying to get through the loneliness, the dark days, the confusion, the feeling lost, being in a weird place mentally, and just in my head is just a hard place to be. And it's like trying to figure all this out is hard at times, And it's like Joe said, I'm doubting myself along this way. And I guess that's just part of feeling normal, I guess, but the self-doubt has a lot to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
whether I'm thinking I can't do this, or why do I have good days for a week and then have 2 weeks of crappy days,
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's just like trying to figure all this out and what I need to do to get through it, and so I'm basically here for accountability,
Mhm.
support, and help, and people to talk with about what's going on, and that's all I
Yeah.
have.
Thanks, Martin.
No, I love that. I
I do
feel like
too.
one, you're in the perfect spot.
Great spot.
And second is everything that you're talking about.
Yeah.
We all have experienced. You are not alone.
Still are.
The things that you're going through currently. I know for a fact, because it says it in the book, like this too shall pass, like everything does. But currently, when you're in the thick of it, it never seems like that. But you're in the right place, and the fact that you were able to be courageous enough to raise your hand and share is the first step
Yeah.
on having not only the accountability, but also letting people know where you're at currently. And so
Yeah.
make sure that you drop a little note in the chat so everybody can, find you, whether it's on social or exchange numbers, because one thing is for sure, you are not alone at all.
No.
And we're all trugging the same exact road together.
And here's the thing, Martin. Whether you're in substance abuse recovery or not, you could find another man to put in your life to ask for guidance. Someone that you look up to, someone that you feel you might want to go in that direction, if you know what I'm saying. And you ask them to guide you. You know what I mean? Through mental, spiritual, physical, all that kind of stuff. And you just let them guide you and you ask them questions and they tell you what to do and you follow their guidance. If that's what you're looking for. Don't stay in the pity mode, bro.
Yeah.
That's no bueno.
Yep.
And for no bueno, for those of you that don't speak Spanish, that's no good.
You don't speak Spanish either, so.
I don't.
I thought that was French.
That's
That
his-
wasn't-
Is it
I
French?
think it's French.
Français, to français.
French
Anyways.
Canadian.
Well, how come the guy in the hat's? How come Tyler's nodding his head back and forth like I'm an idiot?
Rachel.
Look at, I saw him nodding his head back and forth.
Because I can't wait till he shares. I hope
Oh,
he shares
God,
something.
He's gonna
like,
say something bad about me now.
I hope so.
For sure.
That would be like that would like make my
That'd
night.
be awesome.
Yes.
Roast.
Bring it on, motherfucker. Bring it on.
All right, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, how are you?
Hi guys.
Hi.
Rachel, grateful recovering addict, alcoholic. Great lead, Matt. I can identify with a lot of that. I was also one of those. I used meth one time for 4 years. Totally get it. I think one of the things I heard you say is now people can depend on you.
Mm.
And that for me is like one of the best feelings. I think I told you guys here a while back, I found out I have a blockage in my heart. I was getting sucked down into that pity party because I'm a recovering alcoholic, and that pity party, it can pull me in so easy. That negativity you're talking about being contagious, the poor me's, and other people that are having bad days are just right there. And the God shots that have just been coming my way have just been like today on the way home from school. I'm in my head. I'm listening to a new book called Strung Out. It's a memoir about a recovering heroin addict. Like, I'm getting sucked in. I'm crying, driving past, and I see this car on the side of the road, lights flashing, and the driver's laying in the rocks beside the car, driver's side door open. So I'm like, oh my God, my first thought, he's OD'd. I whip it around, go back, car behind me comes back. It ends up, he's okay. He's having an emotional break. We get an ambulance to him. And I end up standing, talking to these 3 old men. I love me some old men. We get to chit-chatting. I explain to him I'm in recovery. That's why I've got Narcan. That's my first thought. And the one old guy's like, well, no offense, but, a lot of times in these situations, that's all the EMTs do. It's always narcotic involved. And I'm like, look, no offense. I don't take any offense to that. Because why I'm here today is to help change the stigma. Because what you're saying is what the majority of the world thinks, that we choose to do what we do. My 24-year-old daughter and I have had so many talks because she used to think, Mom, you chose drugs over me every time. And I had to explain to her it was never a black and white, here's a needle full of heroin, here's my 10-year-old daughter, and I chose the heroin. If it were that easy, nobody'd be a drug addict.
Yep.
And these 2 old guys are like, wow, I never thought about it like that. I don't know their names. I don't know what happened to the young kid that was having the emotional break. I just know that God's kept me alive this day, and I am just so grateful because in that same area, 13 years ago, I was ODing on heroin. My kid was finding me, and I wished I was dead. But today, I called my husband. I'm like, how lucky am I? Like, how lucky am I to be able to be where I am and do that? Like, thank you, God, for keeping me alive. And Chad, it's been a year on this? What? That's all I got.
Amazing. Love that story.
Thanks, Rachel.
So good.
Wow, you know what I really enjoyed besides the share? Was the musical interlude.
It was perfectly timed.
It was
wasn't
unbelievable. As she was peaking, the
Yeah.
music came in. It was like I was in a movie for a minute there.
Absolutely.
Was that the cue for like time?
That was the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that was
music now.
nice.
Isn't that nice? It's not
Yeah.
rude. It's like
It's like a nice. yeah.
soothing you out of your thing. It's
Yeah.
time to stop talking.
Yeah, it's nice. Chrissy.
Chrissy. Hi, Chrissy. I'm Shane. Nice to meet you. This is Emily, Natalie, Chad, Matt,
And everybody in
and
the
everyone
Zoom.
in the room here.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm Chrissy. I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, it's so weird that I'm even on here. And I don't know. Maybe it's a God moment. I don't know. Yeah, I had a relapse, and I've had 6 years, and I left AA, and I came back, and I put together 5 years, and then this relapse has just had a lot more consequences. And like I got evicted from the house I was living in, and so I have a 12-year-old son now, and he lost his childhood home, and he doesn't have his cousins in his life. My sister won't talk to me for 2 years now, and I've just done like a lot of damage, and I ended up relapsing on kratom, and it took me for a ride that I never expected. And this whole year, like I'm supposed to celebrate, like how you guys say birthdays, like at the end of this month, and like I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? Like I have I don't know, I guess I just haven't forgiven myself for what I've done and the damage that I've caused, like emotionally, to my son, to myself, to my family, financially. Like I don't think I like this economy to like fall off and try to like build back is like extremely rough, you know? And the depression is just it's there, you know? And it's crazy because I've never believed in God, and I was saved last October. It's my first time having a relationship with Jesus, and I know that they say that God forgives, but I can't like forgive myself. I cannot find it in me to forgive myself. And I'm pushing everyone away. I'm in this like crazy depression on and off all year. And like I find myself wanting to die sober. You know, like completely don't want to like deal with the mess I created, and like I can't seem to find like a way out of it. You know, like I can't put food on the table for my son. I can't do anything, you know, and it's just like sometimes I feel like the enemy loves me just a little bit more than God does. You know what I mean? And whether that's a disease, like whatever that is, it's just it's pure torture. And I just I don't know. I don't like know I don't know what to do, and I feel really stupid talking like this right now, and I'm like really sorry because I know everyone's like super happy. I wasn't even gonna
No.
stay on. I'm like, this is like insane. Everyone's happy. I'm getting pissed off, you know. I don't know. I guess I absolutely hate myself, and I've spent an entire year sitting in the poor me's, and next thing we know what happens. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of like where I'm at, unfortunately. So. Thanks for letting me share.
By the end of my run, my grandma at 86 years old was packing a 9 in her walker because she was that afraid of me. Like, allow people in, and it does get better, but typically the clouds are the darkest right before they give way, you know?
That is that is a statement that I utilize all the time. Keep pushing, because you know what, you're probably in the darkest spot, and you know, it goes along with the saying that we say in, you know, Alcoholics Anonymous, don't leave 5 minutes before the miracle happens. It's always the darkest before the dawn, you know, and you just have to push through. You're the reason why I come to this meeting.
Yep.
I don't come here for the people that are happy or the people that are working a solid program and are doing really good today. I come here because I need to hear you. I need to be able to share after you share and let you know that if you keep pushing, things are going to be okay. And honestly, things are okay even for you right now. It's just tough. And you can get to the other side of this, and keep showing up. Show up. DM us.
Put your stuff in the chat.
Put your stuff in the chat. There is currently 44 people in this room. And out of those 44 people, plus us, let us be your push. Let us surround you and be the so that your disease can't get through to you.
Because that's what's talking to you.
Yeah.
Your disease is winning right now.
Absolutely.
And it sucks because it's just like brought up some old feelings that I had to work through at around like 3.5 years of sobriety, but I wasn't working a program, so I was like considered, I guess you call that, a dry drunk, right? And so that's miserable. That's basically having the same exact feelings of how I felt when I was using, but the promises were happening, so I didn't have a reason to use. It was a really dark time in my life where I just wanted to end it, and I couldn't wrap my head around it because I couldn't like understand what was happening to me. I just couldn't like get out of bed physically. Could not. I was depressed and just all of the feelings that you just described. And for you to come on here and say you feel bad about sharing, no, that's exactly what you need to do, because you need to get out of your head, because your disease is talking to you right now. It's not anything other than that. And it's you coming to this meeting. It's you connecting with people in this chat with us and pushing yourself to that nudge. You know, you said you had 6 years and 5 years of sobriety before. Going back to a meeting, sharing and being vulnerable in a meeting, reaching out, getting a sponsor, and going through the steps just slowly, all of a sudden things will start to change. It will take a little bit, but
don't give up
at all.
You know, there's nothing that a drink or a drug will make better. And that is a fact. And my story is so similar to yours. I had 9 years and I built a life. And then, one day I decided to go use meth one time. I called up my old buddy and I said, hey, I just want to get high one more time. Can I get a quarter ounce? And yeah, because when I get high one time, it's like at least 4 or 5 days, and then and then I struggled, man, and I struggled getting back, and I'm at a point now where I have over 7 years again, and I have finally rebuilt my life to where I'm doing much better, but it was a struggle getting back. It was a struggle getting to where I am now. So I want to offer you hope by letting you know that if you keep pushing, you're going to get there. You're going to get right where the food on the table. And to be honest, there's people here that will help. Trust and believe that. That's what we do. It's one addict helping another is without parallel. Mm-hmm. To quote,
I'm really glad that you're here tonight, and I'm really thankful that you shared.
Yeah,
because that's where it starts.
Looking around the room, you can see how you've already just your share affected other people. Bring them to tears. It brings us back to that moment. There's a lot of power in what you shared.
Oh, for sure.
So thank you so much, and make sure you put your info in the chat. We appreciate you showing up.
Hell yeah. And we're going to do something special for you and the kid here offline. We're going to discuss it and drop your number and everything here, and we'll figure some stuff out for you.
Tyler
and put this meeting in your calendar.
Yeah, put the meeting in your calendar.
So we are here every week.
Yeah, yeah. Leave your info here, please.
I do want to tell you guys a couple cool things that we've had DM to us. I have literally over the last few weeks had multiple people tell us that they have stayed sober. Binge watching the Hopeaholics podcast.
Yeah, true story.
Which has been I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, for me, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Tyler, you're up, my friend. Say something negative about Shane, please.
I'll try, but
Tyler's too nice of a guy.
I was gonna share about myself, but I feel led to talk about. There's a psychologist out of Canada, probably the only good thing from Canada.
Peterson.
His name is Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Oh yeah.
And he said, don't ever underestimate the hole that your life would leave if you chose to end your life. And I think so many times in life we underestimate our impact on people, our kids, our family, what we do, simple things like a smile or a laugh, or you guys helping encourage people. And I think for Chrissy specifically, as I thought about that quote, I'm like, I can't imagine how much impact that she has on the people around her and how important she is to them. And she just probably doesn't recognize it right now because it's hard and it's a struggle. But I promise you, the whole of your existence and the impact you have on people is so significant. And you shouldn't underestimate your value or your impact. I've lost a few people to suicide, and I just want Chrissy to know that you're so important. You're so impactful. Don't minimize who you are. It's exactly what people said. And as we talk about, I am actually religious, and Satan is going to use what he knows will work. And he's attacking you because you're due and are going to do greater things. But please don't underestimate your impact on people's lives. That's all I'm going to share. What I had to say, I don't feel is important anymore about me, but it is so amazing, like, to have this team on here. It was cool seeing the guys in county. And Chrissy, I'm going to pray for you. Please just don't underestimate how valuable you are to this world. That's all I have to say.
Oh, I love
Thanks,
that.
bro.
That was awesome. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
That was great.
Is that Diana right there?
Yeah.
Diana.
You can skip her.
Diana. If y'all haven't checked out Diana's podcast, y'all need to check that out.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Matt, I just love you, and I'm so glad that you were. I didn't have to record tonight for the podcast, and I got to watch this. And I thank you guys so much for this platform that you guys have and that you guys use, and that you do this meeting for people like Chrissy and myself, and everybody in between that's going through through it. Something I wanted to talk about, and I kind of shifted, like the other guy, kind of shifted from Chrissy's share, was I recently had somebody on my podcast, and he said he was sober for like 22 years and just miserable, absolutely like hated life, and he didn't want to continue his life like that. So he kind of like dug in, like went to religious, did spiritual searching and all that good stuff, sweatshops, and it all came down to like self-worth and figuring out your self-worth. And he has this really cool app because words have power, I believe. And I think I'm very grateful for this program because I've had people teach me so many different things about myself, that when I'm feeling overwhelmed or when I'm feeling just restless, irritable, discontent, anything like that, to get out of myself and to help somebody else, and to give it to God and to talk to another person that's in this program. And I'm just grateful for the people that have done this before me, that I get to learn from their mistakes so that I don't have to do, what they did. And just to plug in it's free. There's an app. It's called The Gift. And it does like affirmations on there, and it's, you just read them. And I feel like that's something that helped me early on in sobriety. I hated who I was. I hated everything about me. I didn't want to look at my past. I didn't want to look at all the shit I caused. I just didn't want to have to deal with any of that and really look at me. But I am forgiven, just like we all are. And it takes time for you to recognize that, for me anyway, to recognize that for myself. And doing the affirmations has really helped me to believe that, because I had somebody for so long tell me like, oh, you're a piece of shit, you're a whore, like just constantly beating me down with his words. And I started to believe that. So going, using that example of, well, I believe that, and I believe that's who I was at the core, then I can take it and do the opposite and really like read these affirmations, these things that are telling me that I'm loved, I'm worthy, all of these things, and it will eventually sink in that I am. So I just wanted to plug that in there. I thought it was something really cool that I learned from this guy who had to do a lot of self-worth digging. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for this platform that you do. And good job, Matt.
Love that.
Thank you, Diana.
Awesome.
Lena.
So good. Lena.
Yeah. Hi. Hi guys. How are you? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All the time we got.
Sorry guys. Oh no, I'm gonna keep it short. I just wanted to say that I am glad that Chrissy showed up today. I think it's amazing. It makes me really happy to know that someone can just like click on their phone or on their iPad or on their desktop computer and they just show up in a meeting and it could be the meeting that saves their life or changes their life. And so I'm just thankful for that. So Chrissy, you're gonna be all right, sweetie. You really are, and you're in my prayers. And I love you guys.
We love
you.
Yeah.
I'm not in Texas anymore. I moved to Kentucky.
Oh my
But I'll
goodness.
tell you guys about that at the next meeting.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Amazing. We love you.
What's going on,
No, don't.
That was really
Please,
good.
No,
That was really good.
don't, Chuck. Do not.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have swamp ass tonight at the show.
Oh,
so.
no, he
Bro,
does.
I do.
He had it earlier.
I do.
It's really gross.
It's terrible. I was in the bathroom.
No, stop.
What? I'm just
No.
sharing my fucking day. No? All right. That's-
Even Chuck was giving you the
Chuck, I'll private message you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's
Man.
Yeah, baby.
Matt, that was a great start to the meeting when you started out with a little story there. I had a good laugh at that when you were talking about it at the end there where he had no lighter. And
yeah.
The couple key things that I got out of it tonight was God shots. God shots was the one because I think it's really interesting how oblivious I was when those happened and just didn't even pay attention to it and just kept going about of the I know attitude and going about my day like I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it wasn't. And that tripped me up. And when I walked back in the rooms in 2008, a lot of things came to light and a lot of God shots happened. And I'll tell you what, I remember those now. Those God shots that happened when I came back in, and I shovel it back in my files in my head so I can talk about it in my story. And like today, I saw a couple of people from the program out and about in the wild, out dealing with Earth people, and it was great to deal with and talk to my buddy Big Bob. He is a very high-strung old dude, and just talking about life and talking about program. But when I listened in the meetings tonight, in here. This is the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes is what I heard tonight. Being able to suit up and show up and talk about what's going on with myself and listen to others talk about what's going on with themselves and get to know everybody and being able to get in the middle of the herd is what I call it. And be able to be vulnerable and talk with people about things that's going on. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. If I got something going on with me and I go to a meeting and I'm a complete a-hole when I walk in, I get that switched around real quick. And it's like I walk out, an hour or so later, or I do an after meeting with my buddy Bob or somebody, and things aren't so bad. Mm-hmm. Things aren't so bad. And I love that. That's what I love about, Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm a 12-stepper, I guess. And I guess that's how I'll put it. But, that big book saved my ass big time. My sponsor saved my ass and taught me the right living and be able to walk through the forest and have a good guide. So that's all I got to share, guys.
Love it, Chuck.
Thanks,
awesome.
buddy.
I'm a 12-stepper too, Chuck.
I'm a 12.
I don't hide it.
Stepper too, and that just reminded me of something. You can't save your face and your ass at the same time. And that's all I got.
Chrissy, could you please look at your private DMs from the Hopeaholics? We want to get some information from you before we pack it up here, please. In the chat. Go into the chat, Chrissy, and send your information over to... send it over to the Hopeaholics. Okay, Chrissy, thank you.
Such a good meeting. You know,
Yeah.
it's a constant reminder too of and why Chrissy's share is so important for everyone in this meeting is because, or at least for me, I forget what I'm like at that moment, because you get a little bit of time and then all of a sudden you think like, oh, okay, I got this.
Oof.
No, you don't. That's when the wheels start to fall off. So it's like, it's now, because I like to put my hand on the fire 700 times before it's like, okay, stop doing that, you know, and stay the course.
You still have to put the finger in, though. You test the water. Don't.
No, not anymore.
Not even a little.
No, I work my program because I'm so scared of what has happened when I have not, because I've done
there
it
you go.
before.
There, that's real talk right there.
So I don't want to falter, because my life
There's her
today
number.
is good. And I don't want to mess it up. There's too many people that I love and care for that if I falter, I'm letting, as much as these two are so annoying, I say that in a loving way.
Me?
Kind, loving way.
Kind, loving way.
I understand. Shane.
That I don't want to falter, you know?
What an amazing meeting.
Always is, man.
I mean,
every
like,
Wednesday.
I don't know how you guys feel, but like, I am not going to be able to sleep for a while.
Well, I look at AA meetings like this, even from when I first started. I always look at it sometimes how I look at workouts, where like I never sometimes really want to go and get one in, but then I never regret one after I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's the same with a meeting. Like, I never regret going to one, because there's always something that you take from it, because we all relate on what we're going through.
Oh, guys, and if you watched the vlog, I don't know if any of you watched the vlog that we put out. It was episode 3, and Shane broke his tooth. It wasn't a tooth.
It was a cavity.
It was a filling.
Filling came out.
It was a filling of his tooth.
Yeah.
So
painful. 2 of them came out.
Anyway, our vlogs are funny. I think they're funny, but I like watching when I'm cracking up. So I think everybody should watch the vlog.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like just behind the scenes, us bantering at work all day long. And they're not long. They're only like 15 minutes. We do one a week. We've done 3 episodes so far.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, it's time.
It is time.
It is time.
Thank you for such a great
Turn
lead.
on your cameras.
Come on,
Appreciate
Rutherford.
you.
Dance with us, guys.
I
Come
will
on,
tell you
Rutherford.
guys, if any of you are
not
ever
gonna
planning a trip out to California,
Yeah,
to
pop
Southern
in.
California, pop in, but you're going to want to plan it for October.
Yeah.
What did I say? The
25th.
24th.
25th.
25th.
And the first 3 that apply, Chad actually has a living quarter above his garage.
Because we are going to have the baddest
In person.
Recover Out Loud Halloween party
Whoa.
and speaker meeting.
Really?
You can dress up.
This is news to me.
Yeah.
I told you about it this morning.
You don't pay attention.
And I see Pete's
Pastor
Pete's
Pete.
laying in bed. He's gonna.
Pete's in the meeting. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
But we love you guys. Appreciate everybody that comes in every single week. Share the meeting with a friend. And thank you to everybody that raises their hand and just sharing, your glimmer of hope, because that's what keeps us
and
going.
everybody, turn your camera on. We got. I see Casey doesn't have his on. Victoria Q, Penny Swanberg. There's 2 Victorias in here. There's Nikki. She didn't have to turn hers on if she doesn't want to. Nikki.
Okay, let's go.
We're gonna dance.
Let's go.
No, we're not dancing yet. Nobody,
we
not
are.
everybody's camera's on.
Don't do that to
All
people.
right. Everybody, hands in the air.
Dance,
hands
baby, dance.
in the air. Let's go.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Rutherford. Really appreciate everyone tonight. Thanks, guys.
God.
Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Amen.
What other
Come back,
meeting
it works.
dances out? What other one?
Love you guys. Thanks, Matt.